Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, if you don't happen to know who I am a YouTube editor. I've been editing just gaming videos, I would say, specifically for about as a job for the past 6 years. But personally, probably about 10 years. I've been doing content creation. Yeah, that's the only reason Nighthawk has me on. Truly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the way I came into contact with Spooks was a very, very, very long time ago, 6 or so years ago. Still am, but I was an average Redditor, and I subscribed to the League of Legends subreddit. And
Back in the day.
Spooks would put out really cool montages. He would do like, and for the time, remember this was like 2014 or something. Editing
Yeah,
at that
but
time was like, it was like a donkey video.
not. Yeah, Kiori. There was Donkey. There
Kiori.
was Kiori. There was the only other people making montages that I remember were, I don't remember when there was Dark Tongo. There was
Mhm.
Dat Jellyfish, who were like the two biggest, and then there's also my boys, Zach. He was a very big editor. Nice guy, Smile, and Shake Drizzle. Those are like the four big ones that I remember from that period that were actually creating montages and creating content. And then there was also Nice Try Ian. He came in a bit later and then just kind of blew everybody out of the water. But
Yeah, we can talk about him a little later. He's
dude,
he's actually I met him
Ian.
at TwitchCon in 2017. He's crazy.
We met him I think the same year. I think that was when we both met him. And dude, I love Ian so much.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Truly one of the best editors that I've ever met. And yeah, man, it's been crazy. You know, we came from the exact same community, and we used to talk to each other very briefly in the beginning, and just kind of, I feel like we both just watched each other grow as editors. It was really cool. I think he's partly the reason why I have a job at TSM. So shout out to Ian. That's my boy.
Yeah. Oh
That's
man.
my boy.
Okay. Well, we'll just talk about him now because we're already talking about him. He works he works for TSM as well now too, right? Because he used to work for.
I don't know if I don't think he works for TSM right
not
now.
directly.
He worked with Double Lift, but then Double Lift eventually changed it, but now he's back on TSM. So yeah, I guess he technically does. But yeah, he stuck with Double Lift, but for a while he was doing kind of what I do for TSM right now, which was like making montages for them, but also working specifically with players. And that's what I've been doing for about the past 3 years. Is mostly managing player channels. So like taking VODs from their stream, cutting them down into games, uploading them, getting the thumbnails made, just kind of doing everything on the YouTube side.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work that goes into managing a channel that really the average viewer probably doesn't know about. I only very tenuously know about it just because I do a little bit of YouTubing. There's a lot of like tag management. Once you get to the monetization side, there's a lot of working with that. There's a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it goes so beyond just creating the content. I would say honestly, the hardest part about my job right now is just figuring out what I'm going to call the videos. Literally, the title and thumbnail. Thank God I'm not in charge of making the thumbnails. We have an amazing thumbnail artist, Nako, and he does like pretty much exactly what I tell him, like my idea, and he just kind of makes something sick out of it. Like I just give him like a general idea and he makes something awesome. But like just getting to that point of knowing what, how you want to present the video, not trying to be too clickbait because you're managing someone else's brand. It's truly the hardest part is just branding the videos themselves. Creating the content is very easy for me specifically. I've been doing it for so long, but wow, I struggle with the managing part sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's getting down to it. That's like the part that everyone's scared of too. Like if you're a content creator, it's not that hard to go through your Twitch VOD and say like, hey, I want to take this game and put it on YouTube if you're not doing any editing. But going through and making a good title, tagging it correctly, making sure that the thumbnail is not going to turn people off, that kind of stuff. That's just the stuff that's just it's terrifying for a non-experienced person.
And the scene is constantly evolving, and what works is like what worked 4 months ago doesn't really work anymore on YouTube. It's like you find trends and you try and stick to them, but certain trends only really work for certain people, and certain I don't know, man. It's a brain bust every
Yeah.
week, every day, you know. But it's also the fun of it because when it does work and you get one that hits, it's like the most rewarding feeling, like 100%.
Yeah.
The most
We
rewarding part of my job is like having an idea. Right now, I work with Myth, and I coordinated with him on some specific ideas. Like, he did a video a few months ago where he went into a Fortnite lobby and he acted as a robot. He did like a robot voice, and he just tricked this kid into thinking he was a robot. And so many people loved it. I really loved making it, and I really wanted him to do a second one for a long time. I finally, we had a conversation about it, and he went and recorded it, and it's truly like my favorite video that we've made in probably the past year, and it performed so well immediately. Just and that feeling of knowing that that idea was there and executing on it, it's like it's the best feeling. Seeing like the numbers, you have actual numbers in front of you showing you how you're doing, and man, uh,
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about
it's a double-edged sword though, for sure.
I want to talk about the
Double-edged sword.
analytics later because analytics
Yeah.
is something that fascinates me. We had Blastos on the show last week, and he's a data scientist, and we didn't talk
Mm.
too much about like analyzing data and stuff like that because I don't think he knows too much about the YouTube side. But
Mhm.
yeah, there's just so much science that goes down into like figuring out that kind of thing.